Welcome back, America. One of my favorite things to do during the Christmas season is to celebrate those who give selflessly so that they can help others celebrate in Christmas. And that is true of Karen Worcester. She has created one of the greatest movements to honor our veterans, to put wreaths on every hero's cemetery stone during the holiday seasons, and also to use the moment to teach our children how to learn the great sacrifices our country's freedom is built upon. We had a great conversation to talk about Karen just before her big tour kicked off. We want to replay that for you tonight. Have a watch. Wreaths Across America. It does incredible work, and we're thankful. Watch this great conversation.
Welcome back, everybody. As we enter into this Christmas season, it is important to reflect on what truly matters: our faith, family, friends, and the spirit of generosity towards those in need. And speaking of generosity, every year Americans come together to honor our fallen patriots by placing wreaths, a very simple yet profound gesture that has spurred a movement across the nation. Wreaths Across America. They express this mission: remember the fallen, honor those who serve, teach the next generation the value of freedom. And Wreaths Across America is continuing their annual Escort to Arlington tradition. It ends on Saturday, December 13th, which is National Wreaths Across America Day. So joining us to discuss this, she is currently on the Escort to Arlington, Executive Director for Wreaths Across America, Karen Worcester. Karen, thanks so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Likewise. Okay, so you guys, I think, departed this past Saturday from Maine. Where are you now? And tell us how it's going.
We actually left Maine on Sunday, and I am right now at the St. Anne's Club in Norwalk, Connecticut, where they've prepared an incredible meal for all. I think there's roughly 150 of us on a convoy, and we just had the best pasta and proteins, and I'm having dessert when I get done here, and they just welcomed the whole convoy in. The convoy has both our families and veterans. We have our LEO officers that are leading us down the highway, and I think we have 14 truckloads of wreaths with us, but that's a wow, symbolic drop in the bucket. But actually, when we were leaving, about 800 other trucks left down in Washington County, Maine, to go to almost 5,700 locations all over the United States. So we're all traveling to get there for Saturday for our big day.
How amazing. That's amazing what you've been doing, Karen, you and your family, for so long. I like a part of this mission that goes beyond honoring the families and creating this beautiful visual for everybody to see at the cemeteries. You are using this to also inspire the next generation of children, to teach them about the cost of freedom, to give it a little bit of a civics lesson that maybe they didn't always get in school. Talk a little bit about how young people get integrated into this and the legacy they learn, particularly with us about to celebrate our 250th birthday here in America.
Yeah, well, it really is true. It's important to remember, it's important to honor, but the object is to teach. And a great man, Roger Donlin, first Medal of Honor recipient for the Vietnam War, I asked him before he died what the most important thing was that our organization could do. And without batting an eye, he said, teach our kids to love our country. And we're so fortunate to be able to do that by sharing the stories of veterans who've served. And I'll tell you, one of the most poignant things you can see is a Gold Star mom talking about a son or daughter that they've buried, but they're the most patriotic people yet. And to help kids try to understand that this country and what it stands for is worth fighting for, and in some cases dying for. And that's been happening ever since the first shots rang out during the Revolution. So we have an incredible curriculum online, wreathsacrossamerica.org, and it's also available on Teacher Pay Teacher free. And we just passed a milestone that curriculum, based on the characteristics of the United States military, we have now reached over 1 million kids, and that's being downloaded and taught in public school and at home school. So it's very much about teaching kids that freedom isn't free, but it also comes with responsibility. And we need to do a better job. We teach kids a lot about their rights, but they need to know that with that comes responsibility.
Yeah. Karen, there are so many wonderful organizations out there that serve our armed services community, but Wreaths Across America is very unique. Tell us how and why it was founded.
Well, it was actually an accident. My husband, we had been in the wreath production business, and I met him back in the early 70s, and In 1992, he had a surplus of wreaths. He recalled being at Arlington National Cemetery as a 12-year-old boy. And he wanted our children to experience that. So we called around, got permission to go to Arlington, took 5,000 wreaths. A friend had a truck, and they went down, took all day with a handful of volunteers to place them. And it was impactful. They couldn't help but say the names. And the kids came home and started researching names. And we see that all the time. We see now families will come into Arlington and these other cemeteries, and kids will place a wreath, and we encourage them to write down the name and go do a little research, because we've talked a lot about it in the last couple of days. That these are people that had dreams and aspirations of their own, that set them aside to protect us, and many of them have died as young people. They've sacrificed life. It's not, they had life before, and the Ghost Town mothers talk about the dash. They talk about the day they were born and the day they were died, but not to lose track of the dash in the middle, because that was the life that they sacrificed. So I can attest to how powerful it is, because this year I have 3 of my grandsons with me, and one is 7, and the other 2 are 12 and 13, and they've been writing down each day what they've learned, and it's incredible.
2005, a viral photo put this movement on steroids. Tell us just real quickly about that. We got about a minute left.
Yeah, it did. A photograph was taken of the wreaths in the snow, and it went viral. And like I said, we're now up to, well over 5,600 locations, and people can still participate. We're in every state. Go to wreathsacrossamerica.org. You can find a location close to you. It will tell you times and anything you need to know. And we still have some need at some of the cemeteries, so you still can donate. $17 will place a wreath on a grave that somebody maybe couldn't afford to place one for their loved one, or somebody may just have been forgotten over time. But it also supports our teach mission. So wreathsacrossamerica.org, and we just love the support to keep doing what we do.
Everybody, absolutely. Go support them. Executive Director for Wreaths Across America, Karen Worcester, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And Merry Christmas to you and everyone over there.
What an amazing woman, and what an amazing movement Wreaths Across America is. All right, we have much more for you on this Christmas special, including how your kids can get taught the Bible even in public school. Yeah, I said it right. You can actually do it. Don't miss that. We'll have it next, right after these messages.
The radical left knows exactly what they're doing. They want to steal the election. We're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
Events in Washington have taken a violent and tumultuous turn.
January 6th wasn't just a moment in history. For thousands of Americans, it was the moment their voices were taken.
It's insurrection.
They were persecuted, hunted.
Seditious conspiracy.
But behind prison walls, something unexpected happened. They found their voice again.
Started singing the national anthem.
We took it up to him at Mar-a-Lago. He goes, I'll put my voice on it.
Our supporters made this go platinum.
Real America's Voice is telling the real story of January 6th, like you've never seen it before.
Everybody, this must be peaceful.
This is not the story you were shown.
I take responsibility.
This is the story they lived.
Government entrapment scheme that this actually was.
The J6 patriots are no longer staying silent. They are speaking. They are standing. And they are telling the truth.
You can't kill us. You can't beat us.
They tried to silence them. Instead, they woke up an entire nation. The Sleeping Giant. Coming soon.